Okay, we're gonna drill here to send this fitting to the inside of the firewall, and then yeah. Front to the back while we spin the other one and hold it in place, and then we'll tighten it down, and then we can tighten this after. But I'll tighten as much as I can right here. That's that. So that's the last twist, and then your line will go there, and then you do the same thing for the other side. Over here, put the fitting through. Just tighten it inside. Yeah, just keep holding it like that. Maybe this side I can say. Yeah, just the little marking, not the circular thing. Alright, that's good. Alright.
Is good?
Yeah. Alright, so basically these are the two fittings for the rear brake lines, but usually a lot of people put them right here, but I want to keep them like more hidden, so I'm going to put them down here, that way the brake lines will just come through here, and then they'll tuck right here, and then the subframe usually covers that. You put tape, a lot of people put tape and then they mark it and drill it, but the thing is that when you put tape and then you drill it, since you're drilling here, you're lifting already that edge, so when you go to take the tape off, it's gonna lift around it, so that's why it's good not to put tape, but you just gotta be accurate. So that's why you go and you start with a small drill bit and then you work your way up. They had like shaving. He's like, oh shit, no, they're shaving on me. So no. Now, boom, right there. Right. So then, right, when the brake lines come through right here, it'll come like this, boop, then doop, and then it won't be up here no more. So then once the thing's covering right here, you'll never see it. Basically, this is gonna be the line for the clutch master cylinder. So I'm gonna make it go like this, then come down, then this way, and then back into the firewall. So what I did was I already drilled it with a small one, so I didn't mess up the bay. Boom. Here you go, tan that on that side real quick. Yeah, thank you very much. Tapping screw, because it's tiny and they like centers perfectly. That's what I start my hole with. So like for example here, I'm gonna make this one for my brake booster here. Drill a little bit. And then through. Perfect hole, and the paint doesn't lift that off. Now, start drilling. Alright, babe. Same thing. Don't drop that one. Be careful with that. That shit looks good.
Okay, ma'am. That's as good as I can get.
Alright, so here's what it looks like with the fittings done. So basically tomorrow I'll show you guys how to make the line and flare it. So the lines are gonna run down from here and then back. And then this is gonna be the clutch master cylinder. So this one's gonna run like probably like this. I kind of did like a mock-up. So I kind of already got messed up, but yeah, you guys will see it. But I got that fitting on there. That fitting's in the firewall, and that fitting's in. So I'll go slow. You shouldn't mess with another paint. It should look like that. And then same thing for this one. So that's gonna be the brake booster. That's gonna be the clutch master cylinder. And then these are gonna be the 2 rear brake lines. Same thing. If you do it right, you shouldn't mess up the paint. And then yeah, don't use tape like I said. Like that. That's gonna be for the front right wheel. And you got your front left wheel. Then you have your 2 rears. Then you have your brake booster, your clutch master cylinder, and then you have your proportioning valve. So this is where all the lines that we're gonna make are gonna come meet. So show you guys what's up. It's the next morning. You know, I'm just saying, just got back. I hit the Dunkin' real quick. Went to go get some coffee, but so I'm gonna show you guys how to make the lines. So I'm gonna show you guys a good tip. I know you guys already see them. Be like, ah shit, this nigga's smart. Ah, you already knew that though. So ready? Right? Look, this is basically gonna be my mock-up line. I already made this first one, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how I did this. So, right? You guys can see I was doing a harness, a few of them actually. So I did have spare wire, and that wire is pretty stiff. So basically, this is like a coat hanger and a safer one where you won't mess up your paint. Because a lot of people use coat hangers, and if you fucking poke a fucking corner of your bay with a coat hanger, you're gonna fucking mess up your paint. So this shit, you can hit it, you can do whatever you want. It's not gonna damage your car. So use a piece of wire and then make your bends. I mean, this already got fucked up, but I'll show you how I do this. My old flaring toolkit went missing. I don't know where it went, honestly. I don't know. But I know that the little pipe cutter I had or whatever to cut the brake line, it was in there. So, cause that's where I used to use it. So that's where I left it. And I guess it went missing. I don't know. But I bought a new flaring toolkit, but I did forget about the fucking pipe cutter thing. So I'm gonna go run back to the store right now and get a pipe cutter, and then I'm gonna get the bend tool to make perfect bends on the brake lines, and I'll show you guys how to do that when we get back. All right, guys. So this is the bending tool that I'm gonna use. This is up to 5/16, so this is nice and small. So you'll be able to do some nice small bends with this, like some tight bends. So that's why I like to use this one. That's why I tell people not to get that huge one. So that's that. Then I have the cutting tool right here. So it's gonna be nice for like all the little spaces and tight things like I said. But coming in, I ran into my mail guy. So as you guys do know, I posted this on Instagram. So this is just a mock-up. My mail guy did come in, right? So shout out my boy Spencer at MPC. They're always taking care of me over there, man. Go check out MPC. My boy sent me over, this is going to be the clutch master cylinder spacer. And I got the whole wheel wood kit. And then I got the brake booster from them. So, yes sir. Stay tuned. We're going to install that. So, I know there's probably some of you guys already out there that already know what this is. But at the same time, you guys gotta understand that there's probably people watching the videos that probably never even disconnected a battery terminal in their life before. So, this is going to be the clutch master cylinder. So, you just 2 12mm nuts. Another one on that side is right there, but I don't have it just because I knew this was for mock-up. I just had this on here because I wanted to see what it looked like, and I wanted to make sure I was going to drill the fitting in the right place. So now we can just pull this off. Alright guys, so now we're going to be doing the Wellwood brake booster delete, and then that's going to be accompanied by the MPC adapter plate. So this is gonna go on the firewall, and then this goes bolted onto here. So I'll show you guys how I do that. So what I find easier with these Willwood ones is you back up this seal, take it back real quick. That way you have space to flex that through this. So put that in like now that you tighten that 5mm Allen with the nylon nuts in the back, you can go and slide the rubber seal right back over, like I said. So after you get your seal right back on there, it should look like that. And now we can put our Allens right through here. They supply you. Boom, like that. And then these will be just the top ones, and then we'll go put these on. We'll put these through right now, put the nuts on the back, and then we'll install the other two bolts. It looks real good. So I don't like how this is polished and this here is black and this has a black cap. So then this is polished, this is silver, and this has a brown cap. So I'm gonna run to the store real quick and pick up some paint. So I'm gonna spray this black so it can match this, and it'll look like the same, and then I'll do the same with the cap. Basically, I bought a kit for a Civic, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but when you have a Civic, the reservoir for the clutch master cylinder is like separated, so you have to run like a little hose to a little reservoir on the side. So this is what Willwood supplies you with. They can give you like a little mounting bracket, so you can put the reservoir on it, and then a line to run it to your filler, which would be there or whatever. And then I have a S2000 one, so the S2000 one gets rid of all that, and it basically puts it into a one piece. So that's what that is. So that if anybody's wondering why that's going to be left over, that's why it is. But that's not going to stay that color. Alright guys, so I came to Ace Hardware. I picked up the two Allens that I needed, because for the brake booster, that way they can, the ones that MPC sent, I guess they were too short, I'm not sure why, but there was two of them that were good, so this is one of them. So I came to pick up two more, so now all four Allens would be the perfect size, and they'll all be able to bolt on tight. And then I picked up some semi-gloss black paint, so I can spray that clutch master cylinder, because you know my OCD is about to kick in. But I'll show you guys what that looks like when we're finished. Alright, so I'm not sure if you guys ever worked a brake line before, so I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is going to be for the one time, so take your notes. And then, yeah, so basically I stretched the wire. Where is it? Right here. So this is the wire that I used to mock up to make my shape. So now I'll put this end of the wire on this end of the brake line, and then here. But what I like to do is I like to give myself like an extra inch of brake line, just in case the flares and the bends and all that shit. So you want to make sure you have enough line. So I made my line there, so now I'm just gonna show you guys how to do that. So basically you just let the line sit in between these two little grooves right there. You let the line sit right in the middle of that, and you're gonna hear the heater in the background. So about that. But tighten that a little bit, spin it, tighten a little bit more, spin it, tighten a little bit more, spin it, a little bit more, nice, spin it. And there it is. That little black thing right there was my mark, so now we'll start making our bends. So we'll go from there. Show you guys how to do that. So I'm gonna go and put my fitting on, so I know exactly where the line is gonna be. Alright, so I put my line in here, and that's the end of the line. So my first bend is gonna be right about here. So I'm gonna grab the marker and mark that out. I'm gonna do it right about here just to give us some space. That way nothing kinks, so do our first bend right about here. It's gonna be the first bend. So now we take this back off. And we go. And flare this, we flare this, and this side will still be open so we can slide our fitting right over it. And then we'll tighten this down, and then from there we'll start making our other. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to flare a brake line. So basically they give you this. So you're gonna be using the 3/16. So it's probably gonna be the smallest one, because this is what this line is, a 3/16 line. So you just loosen these fittings. And make sure you guys use the right side. So if you can see, there's a little side that looks like it has like a machined edge. That's the side where your flare is gonna be made. So basically slide your line in there. So you want to bring your line about that much so when you go to flare it flares down nice. So now you grab this little thing right here and you screw this open. Put that little 3/16 piece, put it right in there. It's gonna be a first flare, centered. And then you just tighten this down. And this will be your first flare. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna bevel that edge at first. And then take this back off. Should be good. Now you pull this back off. Bring this down. Right there. And then basically what you do is you start tightening this and that'll start making your flare. I'm gonna over tighten this because then you'll actually break the flare and then you'll have a crack in it, and trust me, it will leak. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. See? It'll sit nice and flush like that. And then you can just loosen this right back up. Screw it. Loosen these. And you should end up with something like this. Nice little flare. See it? So now, and then you end up with this. Pull on top of here, boom. And then that'll be a perfect flare. See how it has no play? That means that that flare is good. Everything's sitting in there nice and flush, so that's not gonna leak. So that's how you flare brake line. We have our mark here, so it's gonna be our first bend. So now what we do is grab our tool, right? Put your marking right on top of this corner. So, and then all you gotta do is like press on a little bit, and it should be ready to go. See it? Now it's gonna sit like that. Second bend's gonna be right about here. Is now you just continue to bend the same way. So you just place this here. So we're there. Boom. Our second one would be literally just going down right here. So like this. Mark right about here to be the exact point where it's gonna like go right in. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's gonna be straight. So from here, it's gonna go straight into the fitting. All right. So after you make your first couple bends, remember what I said? You usually mark, usually make your mark where you're gonna bend probably like a ½ inch behind the actual bend. That way you have enough space and it bends exactly where you want it. So you guys can see, real nice and clean. So now I took the fitting that goes off there, and then I can see. So now I'm gonna cut the line. That way that line can sit down a little bit more, and when you tighten it, you see how when that flare goes on there, that fitting's no longer gonna be able to come off this line. Don't forget to put on your fitting before you flare the other end of the line, because you'll never be able to get that back on. You have to cut it, and if you already made your line to the perfect size where you want it, then you basically gotta start all over and make a whole new line because you ran out of material. That's why I say always leave a little bit of space. So basically, you put this fitting goes through here, like so, and then you put your brake line right through, and then you leave that in there already, and now you can go ahead and flare it. All right, so basically if you follow the right steps, it should look like that. It's gonna be the clutch master cylinder line. So from there, everybody's gonna be asking, why did I throw that line inside? So I threw this line inside because this is gonna go inside, and then on the inside, I'm gonna make another line. Here's that clutch master cylinder. I wanted to match with the other one, so. All right guys, so here it is now. Sprayed it black. Looks real good now. Matches the wheel wood. So that's like a semi-gloss black. That way it wouldn't be too glossy and then it wouldn't be too flat. So it matches exactly with that powder coat, whatever they put on that one. But so I'm doing the brake line for this one now. So this is gonna be the mock-up. I'll go here, then that way, then down, then this way, and then in. So. So basically I marked here and that was my first bend. So now I'm gonna make my second bend. So I don't know if I want to go this way and then down and then this way and that way, if I just want to go this way, down and this way. But no, if I go this way, I'll be more action. I'm gonna try to do it one last time. If it doesn't work, then I won't do it. I'm gonna try. between both of them. Cause I could've just did that. Alright, so now we're gonna go this way and then that way. So this is our mock-up, basically, here. So you get the hint. You just have to trim away. I had to wash all this stuff off. Yep. That's wrong. Okay, so basically we were able to do these lines. So this is the brake booster and then the clutch master cylinder, and then the other ones I'm gonna finish them after because I'm waiting for this to come in. So this is the Willwood proportion valve, the adjustable one. So like when a car I think is disc in the back is like 40, 60 or something like that. So from there we can adjust it. So once that comes in, then we can finish all the brake lines on the inside.